Been busy, ain't done a lot of recording taking it out, but we got the rear end out. Me and Big Daddy's gonna bring it in here. Anybody watching this, don't ring my phone while I'm recording. First things first, I'm gonna pull the axle off, get the planetary out, and then get in there and check the brakes out. And before I put any brakes in, I will then pull this doodad off here, the quill cover or whatever they're calling it, get that out of the way so we can inspect that thing in there and make daggone sure we're checking the circuit to our brakes to make sure on the inside that what we hook up is making it out to hit the brake, piston. So all that needs to be done. Roger had to come in and get some tools. And look what Linda made. That's a landowner right there. What a sweetie. Roger said, Dare, we don't need to move out of there. I said, Roger, I'll throw this buncher back together and then we'll go over on the government and start pulling out. Oh, some nasty looking stuff coming out, but I had a little bit of everything in this rear end. But here's my problem. This housing's made pretty cheap right there. And all that is, that's just a seal to keep grease in and to hold this seal in. But She ain't made out of much. And this in here ain't made out of much either. That makes you wonder. You know, this thing walling around ain't helping it none, probably. We'll investigate as we go. Focus and didn't cover this, taking this axle apart yesterday. I don't know what I got, what I didn't. I have to check my footage. But I took the axle apart. Everything looks good there. Everything looked real good there. But there was a bunch of chewed up metal in the bottom there. There was broken off bolts. I don't know where they're at right now. Chewed up in the bottom. There's one of them there. I found about 4 of these in the rear end. And one of them I think chewed plenty. And it was grade 8 too, so there was some chewing. And there's where it scarred up the inside of the housing from the disaster there. And there's a bolt that got in the back rear end there. But it was, and where'd it come from was this ordeal here, which holds your differential gears together in there. See all that? Oh, come here, you heavy son of a gun. I'm gonna smash my daggone foot. But see that, John? I got steel-toed shoes on. Poor John. But there's that, and then there's the bolts. Let's see, well, they're broke off from this back end. I have half of mine to try to fix them, but I don't think I better. I better go to Bear Hollow and look around up there. See if I can find this piece. Got another axle up there that's a good axle. It's just got some broken parts, and now it's missing parts because I'm stealing for this one. Try and go up and Collins rip some more stuff out of it. There's your Johnny Popper number. R73002. I'll check into that. It should be a Johnny Popper number. Alright, this was the original rear end that was in the little grapple. We got it's an older style, or a little older on the housing. But it got it was tore up. This is how it was when we bought the skidder. I mean, it is all walled out stuff. But it got stacked here where it gets water splashing here. See against the wall there? And it has water damage. And I got a better one sitting over in that box. But the miser in me, even though it's got some surface rust on it and stuff, the miser in me says use that. Get it used up. So, against what everybody's going to tell me as far as good judgment, I want to use it anyways. By the time y'all see this, it'll done be in the machine, either gutted or running. And I got most of the parts to revamp, but the part I'm gonna take apart my old one. Betwixt my old one and this one, I'll recycle parts and stuff, and then I got new bearings and races, so don't worry, I ain't running old bearings and races. But we'll get her together that way. Cool. Gotta love a boneyard. And Bed Meat, for some reason you're watching this, buddy, I love you. Thank you for all the notes and stuff you kept on this thing. Every time, it seems like every time I get stuck somewhere, bam, I stumble across some of your notes and picks me right back up and I'm gone again. Of course, you told me it'd be that way. But thank you. And I'm gonna try to start being more mature in the way I do things. And when I come to a spot like that, I'm gonna start taking notes and too for the next guy behind me. Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, good times. Good times had by all. Mercy. Here's a rebuilt blade we got Been line board, rebush, and ready to go back on. They get slobbered out, especially when you're doing a lot of cable rigging. Cable skidding's hard on skidders. It's just that type of logging is. With skidders, everything. Skidders got to do everything. There's no din. And all you got is geometry and momentum. That's basically how cable skidding works. So a lot of times, and that's what gets, you know, it's more like a lumberjacking thing, you know, that's what gets, you know, that's why I'm like a lot like way I am, is because your daggone whole career you've cable skidded, you know, we've been cable skidding type of loggers, and if it don't go, you gotta ram her in there. If you're moving something that's too small, you know your rig's too small, or you're gonna have to hit. You ever watch a car crash? Okay, as these axles has evolved through the years, they've changed, but there's a lot of parts that stays the same. Here's the one, that housing, I don't want to reuse it because the bolts is wallered out and the surfaces, I don't know, there's part in there that makes me want to reuse them, but I don't think I can. There's damage in places. I just don't think I can reuse it. It's wallered out. Look how the holes are off. So basically, this donor up here at Bear Hollow, it's all good there, and this is all the same. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record this, taking this apart, partially for me and partially for you guys, but mostly for me. But I just want you guys to feel bad, like as if I'm doing things for you guys, but it's really for me, to be honest, if I'm telling on myself. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna strip that down. Just so y'all know, if you wanna check that mount out online, it's a 15/16 socket mount. 1/2-inch drive socket mount for a phone. All right, so, all right.
Now, did you ever get these manifolds for them lubricators? I've never seen them.
The Lincoln ones?
Yeah.
No, you talked like you was gonna order some. Or
Well, you told me not to order them. You ordered them on eBay.
I ordered one. I never did see it, I don't think.
Okay.
Some of the stuff I order on eBay don't show. Sometimes. All right, and I'm gonna use the old one sitting over here on the floor. And we're gonna turn everything over and set on it, so that way we keep it. But it's just for academic reasons, because this is all getting, I'm gonna strip the parts out. I'm gonna keep the friction discs and the plates and everything, and then gut the housing when I'm done. So, but this here keeps me from getting myself lost, because of the way my simple brain thinks. Well, come on, you coming out of there, driver? All right, there's a friction disc stuck to a dadgum. There we go. So there's that turned upside down. Another friction disc. Well, come on. Well, come on. There it is. I found the system here. Okay. And another wear plate and a friction disc. Oh, and multiple wear plates and friction discs. And now we finally got to our piston. And if it ain't seized up, we'll have us a piston. There's the springs. They keep falling out, but I keep putting them in. It's your springs to release it after you're done with the pressure. Now I'll have to pop this piston loose. Let me take a heavy hitter and a chisel. See if I can get that baby pop loose. It's all corroded together. Okay. This goes goes in chair like this. All right, now why you been aggravating, you son of a buck? Okay, you're just gonna be that way. That's just the way you are. You are just one of them kinds. And we love it. We love these kind. We love this kind. We love that kind. We're like old Dick or Dave. All right, here we go. And my OCD is the only reason I'm going through all this, to keep these. There we go, there we go. And right there, she baby. Turn this puppy over. Okay, so now that that's gone, all right. There it is. Okay, now these got them aggravating little needles in it. And you don't want these to fall out because they go everywhere. Because me and Big Meats had to pick these up off the floor before, and that sucks. Alright. Other wear piece. And that's where we stop. Okay, set that out of the way. Start with this one. Now, shit's gonna get real. Because here's what we can't screw up. Make a lot of racket over there. All right. the matter with you, Joni?
This, did it go up here with the other boxes?
No, it just put it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Here is my dilemma. Okay, and that's how she goes. I'm gonna have to weld nuts on all them. Is how I'm gonna do it. Pull them out like that because they got Loctite on them, and I ain't gonna take a chance on burning rubber with them. What I've been doing, or what I did, was I loosened up. I took that blue flame torch and heated up around, and got it warm enough to melt the blue Loctite that they put on these from the factory. A little bit of heat and it released. I drilled it with a left-handed drill bit and it did screw out with it, so it tells me, you know, what blue Loctite is doing its thing. But when I heat it up, it's game over for the Loctite. Gotta love the blue. I never use the red unless it's absolutely a must. Three, I went with my trusty true Larder Wade way of doing it. I like welding the nuts on the bolts when you're trying to get them out instead of drilling them and easy outing them. When you can get, when they're, you know, at the surface. And sometimes you run into an issue to where it's so small, you can't get your nut welded on good. So I'll take a small washer, weld the washer to the bolt good, and then get a bigger nut and set the nut on top of it, and then weld the nut to the washer. And that works good. But the heat gets the blue Loctite to let go. That's what I like about that system. It heats it and welds your, and you ain't ruining and you know, easy outs and all that goodness. Even that's set back up. Oh boy. We had a lot of Loctite on this one. See it? Yeah, boy. Yeah, baby. How bad you got it? You can tell after I heat it up from welding, it ain't blue Loctite anymore, you know. I burnt the blue right off of it, that weld. I like doing that way better. I like taking bolts out like that way better than I do drilling and easy out. But sometimes, like on this one, when it's below surface, and I think I had another one here, right here, that was below surface. You ain't got no choice because you can't fill the gap with the welder and take a chance on welding to the housing. But when it's flush, I like to do that.